this whole time with Magic the Gathering on the arena in particular, I didn't really play it as much because I don't have the cards that I necessarily wanted to play, and I don't have access to all the cards that I like in physical Commander. But other than that, I've always liked, how fluid it is to play on the arena. But now they're coming out with the Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle Earth, and we just spent some money to get the physical cards. I'm not going all in for the One Ring collector booster packs. I was going to get one of each of the decks, but I decided just to get two of the human decks, or one of the human decks, the starter card decks as well. So I get the 60 card decks, and I got the human and the Mordor decks, um, just so I can start off with. And then later on, when I play Magic and I go back and play Magic again, if they come out with any more Lord of the Rings cards and stuff, I'm going to separate the human decks into Gundor and Rohan, and then I'll probably even get rid of Aragorn out of there and just go with the Steward of Gundor as the leader. And then we will do uh, Gandalf, if we can get a Gandalf card, and then we'll separate Sauron and Saruman on the evil side into two different decks, or we'll just put Sauron in the bottom tier of it, maybe separate goblins from orcs. But on the arena, they have access to a bunch of these cards already on here, and we're already getting some bonus decks. So what I might do is actually this might be the deck of cards that I actually spend money on for Magic the Gathering Arena, and I might play it more often because on this, like, I wanted the night cards and stuff like that before, and it just never, I didn't want to spend money for them, but it was taking so long to unlock them. But it's still completely random. All right, so we got some lands. I'm gonna go ahead and claim all these things that I guess I never claimed. Okay, got some more lands. That's good. Got some more Phyrexian cards. What is that? Oh, we got a Gandalf sleeve. See, I was about to buy try to buy the Soul Ring thing and stick on there for the One Ring, but this works. I like it. The machine has been defeated. All right, so that's all the packs. Let's go ahead and open some of these. So I'm gonna open the Gundor ones last, or not the Gundor ones, the Lord of the Ring. See what I get in the Phyrexian things first. March towards perfection. Mites. Oh, these are those decks. So when I stopped playing at the local Magic the Gathering area, one of the persons actually built one of these Mite decks, and I wasn't 100% sure about them. Seemed pretty powerful. All right, so what we got here? We got Duelist of Faith. Okay. And this, we got what? Netting Host. Okay. Alright, we got a silver card. It's got a skull bomb. What I'll do on here as well is if I get access to it, or if I get enough cards, I'm going to make a pure Gundor deck for Arena, for sure. Because back in the day, way before, the time of recording gameplay, Battle for Middle Earth, RTS, I was okay with the elves, alright? You know, I was fine with playing the elves, fine with playing the evil side sometimes, but Gundor was my jam. All right, got a blue card, we got a gold card. That's good. Go ahead and open these. Blazing Crescendo. I don't know what any of these cards are. Seed Core. Innistrad. I've seen this somewhere before. Vessel of Endless Rest. I've seen that before. Spirit of the Hunt. Okay. Uncommon. March of the Machine. These might be more interesting. Protocol Knight. Enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls, put a stun counter on that creature if you control another knight. Current stun counter would become untapped, remove one from it instead. Interesting. Also, the other thing with the Gundor cards and the Lord of the Rings is they're actually white-blue, mostly, it seems. And then Rohan is like white-red. And when it comes to Magic the Gathering in general, one of the first commander deck that I ever built was blue-white. And it was just a bunch of random Mosh Posh cards with Teferi Timebender and Nami Faith Healer was the commander. But technically, Teferi Timebender was the commander. And I've never played a blue deck really since. Like I went to white green and then I slowly went back to white because I like playing colors that are weak. And blue was really strong and black was pretty good. Everyone said white was crap, so I figured out how to play white. But I like the kind of artwork that's usually with blue knights in general, but they don't really seem to have a good knight deck for it, you know? Temporal Cleansing. Owner of target non-impairment puts it in their library second from the top or on the bottom. Okay. Because I could probably mix a couple of these blue spells or something into a Gundor deck. Like this, draw two cards, Meeting of Minds. I mean, it doesn't necessarily fit with Lord of the Rings, but I ain't super crazy. Like, exile all creatures, incubate X, where X is the number of creatures exiled this way. Pay 2 to transform this artifact. That seems pretty strong, but also kind of annoying. Mizzet. Niv Mizzet. I don't know if that's strong or not. I mean, it sounds strong, but you get 10 cards, and then you get to choose color pairs. Hmm. Norn Inquisitor. Knight of the New Collation. See, stuff like that I might be able to get away with using in a Gundor deck, but enters battlefield, create a 2/2 white and blue knight creature token with vigilance. That's the only thing I don't like about the arena, though, is you don't really get to choose your token. Well, at least for not right now, anyway. Phyrexian Praetor. Okay. March of the Machine Aftermath. Vorinclex. Voice of Hunger. It's a good card. It's different art that I've ever seen before. Whenever an opponent taps that land for mana, that land doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. I mean, it's an expensive card, mana-wise, but it's also pretty good. I just don't play green decks. It's just anytime I see, like, anything in Magic, I see green, and I'm just not super appealed to it, you know? There's a lot of elf stuff and a lot of beast stuff, which I'm kind of okay with, but it's not the, the craziest thing that I care about. And then, like, red, I like a lot of the red cards, like the soldier cards and the knight cards, but their effects are kind of meh. Like, they're kind of basic. And then, like, white and black seems to be, like, the best stuff to have, For me, anyway. Angel Cleric, Judge of Valor. Flying Lifelink. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those into your hand and the rest into the graveyard. I'm iffy on that. Forged in Fury. What? Whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. You may cast equipment spells this way without paying their mana cost. I like it. Alright, we got a Bola Slinger. We got some destruction stuff. Copper Vanguard. See, it's stuff like this that I like, It's not like a super crazy card, but it's like, you put it down, two cost, 2/2, and then each other human gets 1/0 and has ward 1, which, isn't going to help you a ton, but it's better than nothing. And then if you have like any of like there's an armor equipment that gives you like ward 1, so then you'd have like ward 2. And then there's an armor equipment like plate mail that gives you like ward 3, which would be like ward 4 with this. Like paying an additional 4 mana to kill one creature would be nuts. Human Shama. Other creatures you control get 1/0 whenever a non-token creature you control dies. It deals 1 target damage to any target. Enchantment creature Human Druid. Whenever create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. That's interesting. I mean, banishment enchantment seems to be the only thing that comes to mind, or like token doubling. If you had token doubling enchantments and you create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment, then you would double the token, which would... Yeah, I mean, I could see that getting out of hand pretty quick. Alright, now we're down to the Lord of the Rings. see what we got. All right, so this is going to be the start. The main thing here is that I might put some money into some of these boosters. It'll be the first time that I've did it with Magic Arena, and it might be something that I keep. Because this is really, if there was ever going to be a set for me to put money in, it's probably going to be Lord of the Rings. Win or lose Gundor, man. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so we get Eastmark Cavalier, so that's a human knight. Destroys a goblin and orc, which is okay, but it's not going to be useful versus other decks that aren't really themed here, probably. Destroy target artifact or land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. I kind of like it. Rush the room. Target creature gets 1/0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Spiteful Banditry. Enters the battlefield, it deals X damage to each creature. Whenever one or more creatures your opponent controls dies, you create a treasure token. Once each turn. This is interesting. Is Gandalf black? Is he black on here? Alright, Dreadful Storm. Target creature has base power and toughness 5/5 until end of turn. The ring tempts you. The ring. Your ring bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. Whenever the ring bearer attacks, draw a card. Then discard a card. Whenever your ring bearer becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it at end of combat. Whenever your ring bearer deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life. Interesting. Create Shadow Summoning. I don't understand this very much. It's white-black. But if this is a Lord of the Rings card, how does Aragorn summon these things if Aragorn doesn't have black? Create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. Worm Tongue. Your opponents can't gain life. That's pretty good. Sacrifice another creature. Target player loses 1 life. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, amass orcs 2. Orc army. Speaking of which, does Sauron, does he make he's doing orc armies still. He doesn't have Uruk-hai. So what's the deal with that? Anyway. Avatar Rogue. Sharky, Tyrant of the Shire. There's a lot of cards here that I have no idea with here. Blue, black. Activated abilities of lands your opponent control cannot be activated unless they're mana abilities. Tyrant of the Shire has all activated abilities of all lands your opponent controls except mana abilities. That seems pretty dang strong, if I was to guess. See, Sam's Desperate Rescue. See, these are black. Why are they black? Easterling Vanguard. Soldier of the Grey Host. Stew of the Conies. At the beginning of your instep, put an influence counter on 2. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. If that player doesn't, you mill X cards, where X is the number of influence counters, and that player loses life equal to the total mana value of those cards. That's kind of crazy. One mythic alchemy pack. Question is, how much money am I willing to actually play here, you know? Let's look how many packs. Like, I don't know, like 2,000 gems for 10 packs. It's like $20. That's a lot of money. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an Aurora equipment spell from your graveyard. See, I think, Danitha can probably work in a Lord of the Rings deck, maybe, even though she doesn't really fit, but whatever. There's that guy. Stewards of Osgiliath. I need to figure out what Osgiliath is, because I'm not sure if, unless it's the city that was outside of Gundor. The ring tempts you. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a 1/1 counter. That's pretty good. Saruman of many colors. So we got, see, so this one is the one that you get white and black. I can kind of understand this in a way. I kind of almost wish, like, looking at the cards that are coming out in physical, that you could make evil versions of some cards, like an evil version of Frodo, or if Gandalf went evil, things like that. Ward. Discard an enchantment, instant, or sorcery card. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, each opponent mills 2 cards. When one or more cards are milled this way, exile target enchantment, instant, or sorcery card with equal or lesser mana value than that spell from an opponent's graveyard. Copy the exile card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana. I'm not exactly sure what this is saying, but Avatar Wizard, 3-color, which is already kind of rough. Faramir. See, this is what bothers me, okay? Human soldier. It's a female soldier with a big ass greatsword. When did you see a female soldier in Gundor? You know, I just want a regular Gundor soldier. I don't want all my soldiers to be female, okay? At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you chose a creature other than Faramir, field commander, as your ring bearer, create a soldier token. Interesting. I mean, I think we want Faramir, for sure. But we don't really have much to go on here. Like, we have... So we have one of a few of these cards. But not very many. So we still have Esquire of the King. Looks like a Rohirrim. Creatures you control get 1/1 until end of turn. This ability costs 2 less to activate if you control a legendary creature. Get Frodo, Determined Hero. I think this is potentially good because even like for a bunch of different decks for different reasons, but whenever Frodo, Determined Hero enters the battlefield or attacks, you may attach target equipment you control with mana value 2 or 3 to Frodo. So I like this because my white decks in particular, I usually use low cost mana equipments and stuff. Like I use equipments to make my mana and to draw cards early, and I use equipment searches to get them out early. So like a 2-drop Frodo, boom. So like play your deal, and you stick out Frodo, then you like get your equipment, place your equipment down, attack, it automatically attaches to Frodo, and then you automatically get that effect, would be really nice. But also, as long as it's your turn, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Frodo, that's pretty good. So I think Frodo Determined Hero is something I need to find for my Magic deck for sure. Destroy target creature that blocked or was blocked this way. Also, the decks that I built should have promo codes for Arena. I don't know how to do that yet. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. So we got Frodo, Sauron's Bane. This is the white-black one. It becomes a Halfling Scout with base power and toughness 2/3 and lifelink. Frodo Scout becomes a Halfling Rogue whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. The player loses the game. If the ring has tempted you, see, this is the other one. This one I think is a little bit too strong. Dawn of a New Age. I kind of like this. I mean, a 2-drop that can give you card draw. I mean, it's slow card draw, but I mean, you're getting at least one card probably the first time you put this down, so it's 2 for 1, but potentially could get more. I like that. Duradane Blade. It's just a basic kind of sword. I would probably swap this sword out for a different sword. Um, Legendary creatures you control get 2/1 and have ward 1. Non-legendary creature you control get 1/1. I like this. I mean, the ward 1 isn't too powerful, but it's not too bad. I'm seeing a bunch, like, the ward effects, I never really get to use them very often because they don't seem very good. Because, like, all they've really had in the past is, like, leather armor or something, you know? Yeah, get one creature ward 1, and it's okay. But this right here, Anthem, and it's giving ward 1, I mean, that's just pretty good, I think. Return target spell to its owner's hand, draw a card. I'm not opposed to it. Samwise Stoutheart. Choose up to one targeted permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return to your hand. The ring tempts you. So, I mean, you're putting them down. You're bringing back something that was destroyed. It's probably Boromir, Warden of the Tower. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Sacrifice Boromir. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. I like this. Boromir, Warden of the Tower. I wish they had more of the like the movie type Gundor armor, but I could live with the armor that they got going on, the style. So you get Boromir, you get Boromir. I mean, they're both pretty low cost cards, which I like. This one, I mean, it's countering effects if they don't use mana to cast it, which is kind of cool. I mean, he comes with Vigilance. He's a 3/3 for 3. And he protects you versus board wipes and stuff. I think that's pretty good. Errand Rider of Gundor. Errand Rider of Gundor enters the battlefield, draw a card. Then, if you don't control a legendary creature, put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. 3 for a 3/2 and a card draw. This helmet's crazy looking. You see that? Fog of the Barrow Downs. Enchanted creature is a spirit and can't attack or block. Interesting. Forge Anew. Enters battlefield, return target equipment card from graveyard to the battlefield. As long as it's your turn, you may activate equip abilities at any time you could cast an instant. You may pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first ability you activate during each of your turns. When Forge Anew enters the battlefield, you may pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first equip ability you activate during each of your turns. Interesting. I like it. The thing is like they've been coming out with some more different types of draw cards for white, but also different kinds of cards like this that do equip 0 for white. So I think they're starting to catch on to like what I've been trying to do with my decks with white, and it's been working great for me in the past. I don't use that many equip zeros, but I was planning on it. But see, like white equipments, like people say equipment suck with white, but I have used it. I mean, it's bad to an extent if somebody like removes, like blasts and removes your stuff early into the game. But it's kind of like a double-edged thing where it's like, so say like I have a harder time getting mana, and they have an easier time getting mana, but then I have an easier time finding this piece that I need to start going off early. But then they have like a counter spell to it. Well, if they destroy my artifact that I put down, then I get put behind and I can't, it takes me longer to get going. But also they had to burn a card and mana to get it going. So it's just, it's kind of a trade-off, I think. See, like stuff like this, I don't really know. Like, why does when this thing die, the ring tempt me? I'm not interested in that. Slip on the ring. Exile target creature you own, then return it to the battlefield under your control. I'm fine with that. I don't know what the tempt like. Does it keep stacking or does it reset? I guess you get all of these powers as long as you have. But also, like, is the ring just an effect? Or do you need, because, like, the ring is an actual card as well, and it's really strong looking. Knight of the Keep. Yeah, that one's kind of a trash. Bill the Pony. Create food tokens. So, Gandalf White Rider. Whenever you cast a spell, creatures you control get 1/0 until end of turn. Scry 1. When Gandalf dies, you may put it into its owner's library fifth from the top. I think thematically this sounds good in a Gundor type deck, but I mean, I guess it is buffing you, and it is a legendary creature. Like, there are some things that this would be decent for. Like, if you have the Steward of Gundor, I think it's like if you cast a legendary 4 cost, you make soldier tokens or something, then I could see this being okay, maybe. Summon it for 4, make 2 tokens. But Lady of Rohan. Target creature gains your first strike or vigilance until end of turn. That creature is equipped, it gains first strike and vigilance until end of turn instead. Equip abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate. I think it's alright. I mean, for attacking, it'll be fine, but I'm not like super crazy about it. She wouldn't be in my Gundor deck though, that's for sure. Like this one, Protector of Gundor, just for the flavor, I would have it in there. 4 cost, 3/3, makes a 1/1 soldier. You know, I don't get why all the soldier tokens are these chicks though with big great swords. Protector of Gundor. For now for Wrath, now for Ruin. 1/1 counter each creature you control. They gain Vigilance till end of turn. The ring tempts you. I mean, it's a buff. Um, Gets Rohan and Gundor both riding here. Where's the dwarfs in this alliance picture? Search your library for a legendary creature card. Put it into your hand. You do that 2. Creature control gain Gumble Strike at end of turn. This is interesting. Minas Tirith. Pay 2, draw a card. Attack 2 or more creatures this turn. I could do it. Eagles of the North. Exile target creature. Gandalf the White. Got Flash. It's a 4/5 for 5. Got the Gundor banner. You may cast legendary spells and artifact spells as though they had Flash. If a legendary, I mean, I like it. It's legendary or artifacts, so legendary creatures. If a legendary permanent or an artifact entering or leaving the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, triggers an additional time. If a legendary permanent or artifact entering or leaving the battlefield. I mean, you could use this for resurrection stuff, maybe, but I don't know how useful this is off the top of my head. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, target attacking creature without flying gains flying. Tale of Trivialulu. Target creature controlling indestructible as long as you control. Tale of Trivialulu. Return target creature card. Up to 2 target creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. So you get a couple turns of indestructible. You get a resurrection. I mean, that's all right. Yeah, this is good. I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's not the best, not the worst. Biggie Swindler. Born upon the wind. Captain of Umbar. River Daughter. She thick. That's all I know. Yeah, this is more of an elf thing. And then this is... Whenever you scry, if you control an island, you may exile. Alright, so you get 2 draws potentially off of it. Okay. Smoothing of Smeagol. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. Whenever Elrond, Lord of Rivendell, or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. If this is the second time this ability has resolved, then it's alright. Counter target spell, Amass Orcs 1. Treason of Isengard. Scroll of Isildur. Tap up to 2 target creatures, put a stun counter on them. Draw a card for each tapped creature opponent controls. You may cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Gandalf, draw a card. Interesting. Swift Savior. Knights of Dol Amroth. Rangers of Athene. I like this. That's nice. Kind of like that too. Saruman the White. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, amass orcs 2. Interesting. Lash of the Balrog. Gets 9 stun counters. Whenever you draw a card during an opponent's turn, create a 1/1 blue tentacle. Whenever a tentacle you control dies, untap up to 1 target Kraken and put a stun counter on up to 1 target non-land permanent. That's actually really interesting. And I do have some Kraken cards. Storm of Saruman. Interesting. Has Ward 3, and you get to cast additional spells. Rivendell. Haunt of the Dead Marshes, Nightmare Elf. They already got Dark Elves coming in. I like this. Interesting. Grond the Gatebreaker. Wraith Knight. When Nazgul enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, put a 1/1 counter on each Wraith you control. A deck can have up to 9 cards named Nazgul. Interesting. That's probably really strong. This right here is going to be a really strong card. How does this even work for this? Because you can only get 4. Kai Berserker. Isildur's Faithful Strike. Short target creature. If its controller has more than 4 cards in hand, the exiled cards from their hand equal to the difference. Interesting. See, this is what gets me though, is it's black. Legendary instant, but it's black. Like, shouldn't this be a white card? Ring Wraiths. When the ring tempts you, return ring rings from graveyard to your hand. Oh, this is absurd, if we're gonna be honest. Especially like in this black, like you could have 4 of these for standard, and then you could have, I mean, 4, I guess, to 9 Nazgul. That's all you need for a deck, you know. But this thing, like, just as a solo and a commander thing, it would be worth it. Your ring gets tempted, this thing dies, you just keep bringing it back, it just keeps killing stuff. So good. 1 ring to rule them all. Destroy all non-legendary creatures. Each opponent loses 1 life for each creature card. Interesting. Defending player sacrifices a creature with the least power among creatures they control. Orpheum Lancers. Breaking of the Fellowship. Grimly's Great Axe. Create a 1/1 white human suture creature token. Humans you control gain haste until end of turn. See, these are Rohirrim though. See, I might just go, like, whenever this set comes out and buy, like, 1 of each card. Just to have it. Question is like, if you're going to make a thematic deck for the movie at least, You probably want to have a deck that's sort of in line with the story, because like here you got Marshal of the Rohan. Whenever one or more other attacking legendary creatures you control die, untap all creatures you control after this phase an additional combat phase. So I mean, it's good. I think this is good. But the question is which one would you want to have in your deck? Like this one's a 4-cost 4/4 that gives you extra combats. And then this one attacks if you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield. Create a soldier creature token. If you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield, you create a token. I think the other one's potentially better, but I think both of these probably have a place. I mean, it's a 5/4 with haste. My thing though is that he's making soldiers, which are like Rohirrim soldiers and not like knights or anything. Okay, so we got green mushroom watchdogs. This seems really strong, actually. Sack of food, you put a 1/1 counter on it. Green's probably going to end up being the strongest. I just don't want to play elves or halflings, really. See, like, chance meet elves. Like, that's like the game almost. Human ranger. Pippin, guard of the citadel. So, like, stuff like that, I could see putting in a deck. Because you need a Pippin. And it's a pretty good card, I think. Danathor, ruling steward. See, it's black and white, though. Beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. It's pretty strong. Bird noble. See, Faramir Prince. See, but he is white blue, so I mean, like it's just hard. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they didn't attack you that turn. Otherwise, create 3 1/1 white humans. I like this card. Like if this was your commander for a commander game, I mean, you just 4 mana, you choose an opponent. If they attack you, you draw a card, and if they don't, you get 3 soldiers. I mean, that's pretty good value, I think. See, but these guys, King of the Oathbreakers, or another spirit you control becomes the target of a spell, it phases out. Oh, this is strong. This is really strong. King of the Oathbreakers. It's a flying 3/3, and if it becomes the target of a spell, it phases out. So, like, if you try to target it, it's just going to phase out. But whenever they phase in and out, whenever they phase in, they create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. See, you got Prince. See, I think these are. I don't think these are Gundor. These are Numenarians, maybe, or something. I don't know, but whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token, which could be good. Search your library for a card that shares a color with a legendary creature you control. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. This is pretty strong. That is pretty strong. Gandalf's Sanction. X damage to target creature, where X is the number of instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. Gandalf the Grey. Mouth of Sauron. Loot Bearer. Of the White Hand. So we got some different Balrogs. I'm a little iffy on this one. I mean, it's a 5-drop 7/7 with trample. But if a legendary an opponent controls dies, it goes to the bottom of its owner's library. That seems kind of weak, whereas this is a 7-drop for a 7/5. This one seems better. I'm guessing this is when it was in the Dwarven thing and then it went asleep afterwards, and this is when it fought Gandalf, maybe. Gain control of target creature an opponent controls until end of turn, untap it. See, I have to come back on here and get this list because later I'm gonna buy probably one of every card for the Lord of the Rings. I would assume. That way, like, any time that you go and, like, you want to play a Lord of the Rings thing, I could just pull out a binder. And then people could pick the cards that they want. Like, have them sectioned off for each race. Or each area, or whatever. Like Rise of the Witch King. This is interesting. I don't know how this works. Indestructible as long as 2 or more creatures died under your control this turn. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets 1/1 until end of turn. Horse Lord. Shadowfax. Doors of Durin. I like this too. I would probably prefer this Aragorn over the other one too. I mean, it's cheaper. It's more in line with the movie. Choose creature other than Aragorn, company leader, as your ring bearer. So you can get First Strike, Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on Aragorn, put 1 of each of those kind of counters and up to 1 other target creature. This is just a really good card. I don't see why I wouldn't use this one. This is like when they were first on their journey too. Like I like this. A 3-drop. But see, it's white and green, so like to get this deck working, we need something that has white, green, and blue, and potentially red. If you're gonna do an actual story like deck, you'd need something with at least 4 colors, it seems. Like this one's okay, but it's like an end game card, or like after the thing's already. But like this one, this is a 4 color, so like this could probably be the commander here. So whenever you cast a white spell, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever you cast a blue spell, scry 2. Whenever you cast a red spell, Aragorn the Uniter deals 3 damage to target opponent. And whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets 4/4 until end of turn. Like, I think that's potentially good, although it'd be weird to have both of them, like, on their barrow blade. Loses all abilities until end of turn. This is interesting. I wonder, so if that lets them lose, does it make them lose indestructible? Or is that an ability, or is that just something that's given to them, you know? Elrond, Master Healer. Legless counter of kills. Whenever you scry, if Legless counter of kills is tapped, you may untap it. Do this only once per turn. Whenever a creature opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Legless. Galadriel. Equipped creature has first strike and gets 1/0 for each instant or sorcery spell in your graveyard. That's strong. Okay, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand with mana value less than or equal to the damage without paying. This is a strong sword. Equipped creature has first strike and gets 1/0. Horn of the Mark. That looks like freaking God, who's that guy's name who plays Blade? I'm thinking Wesley Snipes, but I don't think that's it. I don't know, the dude who plays Blade that looks like him. Equipped creature gets 3/1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. If is legendary, instead create 2 of those tokens that are tapped and attacking. The problem with this, I mean, I get it's making flyers, which is good, but this is just anybody. Anyone who has the sword is bossing the spirits. But like in the movie and stuff, only he could do it because he has the blood. Equipped creature gets 1/1, has haste. At the beginning of each combat, untap equipped creature. Equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocking or being blocked by a goblin or orc. Interesting. Horn of Gondor. 3 and tap, create X white humans. X is the number of humans you control. So every turn, this is really strong. It's an artifact. This is all you need for a standard right here. You get 3 of those. You create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token with it. Boom. And then you pay 3 every turn. Like instantaneously, you're going to get 2. X is the number of humans you control. The thing, if you have this card and you have that shield maiden chick who like gives you soldiers for each one that she attacks. Like she attacks and she doubles your soldiers. Those 2 cards together are both game-ending cards. So 3 and 4 drop, you're gonna be making so many soldiers, it'd be ridiculous. You gain protection from everything until your next turn. So that's a Teferi's protection, sort of, or it's like a swing through the enemy card, and it's a draw card. Pretty good. See, the One Ring and Bilbo's Ring, both of these are good. Equipped creature has hexproof and can't be blocked. I just hate that. Why does the Gundor Soldier have to be this chick? You have so many cool artworks that you could have, you know? Mithril Coat. Equipped creature has indestructible. I like it. Has flash. Legendary artifact. Can't go wrong with that. These collectors are like 500 right now. It's getting a little crazy, if you know what I mean. See, see this. So there's another one right there. Sauron the Necromancer. Exile target creature card from your graveyard. Create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 black wraith with menace. At the beginning of your next end step, exile that token unless Sauron is your ring bearer. I like that. You basically just make an army of wraiths. Very interesting. Those two cards together. I mean, that's really that's powerful. Ring tempts you, then the ring race come back, and then every time that you have a creature dead and this guy attacks, you exile it, you make another wraith, and you just keep going until he dies. Hmm. See, collector boost box, $520. 30 packs, 36 packs. I don't know what the difference of this is. Like, what's the difference between these two? You know? You got draft. Interesting. I was right here though. The Horn of Gondor. I could see this already being ridiculous. See, this is the number of humans you control. Where is she? I like this card still. Mariel, Shield of Argive. See, this one's only the number of soldiers you control. So if you have the Horns of Gondor and you have her, at least the Horns of Gondor would give you a bunch of soldiers, you know? Interesting, though. Okay, so if we were going to do... Brawl. We have Farmir that we can do. I don't know if we can do... Yeah, let's go Commander. So these are all commanders. So we got Sauron. I think ideally we want to work up to a 4-color commander. But like this, like something like this would just be really good, I think. Or this. This is just if a creature dies, you just make a token. So like, wouldn't the tokens just die and make more tokens? See, like we can't use Aragorn, the company leader, very easily. We need Aragorn, the Uniter, I think. See, if you want to use Legolas, you'd have to have all the colors. Like if you have Aragorn the Uniter and then you have like Legolas in here, and then you could have Gimli, and then you want a Frodo and you want a Sam. Yeah, worm tongue. He's really all we got right now. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under your control this turn, draw a card. Whenever the ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Faramir, Field Commander, create a soldier token. I don't think this is necessarily bad. Like, I think we could use him, but we want to get access to Boromir at some point. So let's do Faramir. And then we want still some more of these. So what we have this Cavalier. Okay. And now we want collected or not collected. I believe. Oh, because we need like 20 more cards here. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, draw 2 cards instead. If you would gain life while you have 5 or less life, you gain twice as much life. Okay. I think Mitchell Code is probably good. I think we want Horn of Gondor. I think that's just good. Finished deck. So we got Horn of Gondor. I think the One Ring is probably good to have. So we have 1 rare and 10 uncommons that we can do. See, we could have gotten 3 Horns of Gondor for standard. Which probably would have been better if we're going to be honest. Each combat, untap, equip creature. Alright, so now we got Farmir and we got Boromir. And we have 10 uncommons that we can do. So let's go to uncommons real quick. Destroy target creature that blocked or was blocked by a legendary creature this turn. See, he's not even a... I mean, we could get 4 of these pretty easy for a standard deck. Let's see. Target creature you control gains indestructible as long as you control. To the battlefield, up to 2 target creature control gain lifelink till end of turn. Okay. I think we want him, probably. let's see what happens. So let's go play. Actually, what? What did we just do? This is what happens. Every time I try to build a deck in this thing, I always mess something up. You know? And I waste all my cards. Friendly Brawl. Okay. So how do I play Friendly Brawl? Let's go here. Brawl. My decks. Is Friendly Brawl not just does it not exist? Is that not a thing that you can play? I don't understand. See, this is a 100 card deck, which I don't want to do. I knew I should have just made a standard just deck. I wasted all my card slots. Could have just used the horns. Crap. is gonna be terrible. I can already tell, man. Thirsty. Want water. Is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your face. You wanna go outside. I know that's all you ever wanted. 'Cause you're a puppy, that's alright. And I love the way and everything you do. Oh, pupper. Urgh. Good puppy dog. At least you are. Oh, good puppy. Is it cold in here? Arrgh. Spoiled pup. Spoiled. Hmm. Spoiled. Wee wee wee. Wee wee wee. Wee 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 wee. No freaking way. Historic. You want to go outside, pup? Is there just nobody playing right now? You go outside?